I was thinking today, again, we decide what it is we're going to put on that internal camera in our mind, that internal projector in our mind, and we decide what we project that day. Are we going to project a world that is ruling us, or are we going to project the sight of Christ and see through his eyes? What are we going to see? It's just as quickly can be our reality by what we change on the inside, and that's what this is saying. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. So we are seeing what is coming from our own minds. That out there is not a fact. It's a choice we make. It's a choice we make, and we don't get that. We think, oh, how could we be so powerful? Well, we talked about it a moment ago. You are a piece of the hologram, right? You are part of the whole. The breath that Jesus breathed, you breathe. The breath, we go from that. The breath that Buddha breathed, you breathe. We are all part of each other. So this idea that in some way we're separate or not powerful has to be is diminishing to our minds. We are all powerful. This perception is a mirror, not a fact, is important for us to get into our heads, because you got to change your thinking or your world will never change. So, and what I look on, as it goes on to say, is my state of mind reflected outward. I would bless the world by looking on this through the eyes of Christ, looking on the world through the eyes of Christ, and I will look upon the certain signs that all my sins have been forgiven me, that all the things that I think I have done, that all the pain and suffering that I think has happened I've been released from. I've been released from these chains that bind me. I've been released from the pain that seems to encompass me. That's what this is talking about. We are released from these things, not by changing the world or changing each other, but by changing our minds. That's the power that we have within us now. And then you have this beautiful prayer at the end where it says, Father, or you lead me from the darkness to the light. Of course, we use this analogy all the time. We seem to be dwelling in the valley of the shadow of death, and that darkness. And that even though we seem to be there, these moments of light, we can be lifted out of the darkness into that light. Because what does it say? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Everything my rod and my staff, for the shepherd of the time, from the 23rd Psalm, his rod and his staff was everything. It was his essential equipment, just like your cell phone is today in your car. It was his essential equipment. So everything I need is given me. My rod and my staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. All of these truths, he is always there with us in the midst of all the challenges of the world. So that's what it's saying. You lead me from this darkness to the light, from the seeming sins and pains of the world to holiness. Let me join with this perception by what? Let me forgive, and thus receive salvation for the world. Because unless I forgive, unless I clear my mind of all the judgments I have and focus on the truth that everything is an extension of love or a call for love, that love really is the answer, I will not receive that salvation. I will not know who and what I am. It is your gift, my Father, given me to offer to everyone, because what? As I give, I receive. So what I give becomes real in me, that the Holy Son may find again the memory of you and your Son as you created him. Because as I extend that truth, I remember who I am. As I remember who I am refocused on what gives me my power, what gives me my truth. Nothing can take your peace away from you. Nothing can take your strength away from you. Nothing can take love away from you. Nothing can take life away from you. That's what we need to remember. Even in images of death, even in images of destruction, even in images of pain, nothing can take that away from you except your own choice.